All right. Good morning, Melanie. Round two. Round two. All right. Whoever's got the music going, let's cut that. I don't know if it's me. Okay. Good. Sometimes it is me. I do things on Zoom I don't mean to do. I'm like, why is my camera off, Melanie? Oh, it's on. Okay. I got a sweet topic today. And this is it's how to use Memorial Day specials to help you sell more Cutco. And so, Baker, the reason I said I'm fired up to cover this is you or somebody can take this and substitute July 4th in a month and a half. Okay, so I want to show something to you before we start. All right. This is a really clean special that you can use on your appointments. If it's in person, you can click on this. If it's virtual, you can be sharing your screen. But this is an example. Look, I mean, look how beautiful this page is, right? So Memorial Day specials. So it's got the Homemaker Plus 8 is normally $16.13, and we throw in one item for free. But Melanie, for Memorial Day, we've got $340 of free Cutco. Usually we might throw in $100 of free Cutco. So somebody who buys the Homemaker Plus 8, they get an entertainer pack for free. They get the can opener for free. Okay, so let me explain this. Dan Miller is the Gilbert of the Eastern region. So he's the SPM of the Eastern region. Dan was tasked by the company of putting together specials like this that look very professional that we can use on appointments. Now, I know Dan well because I was in the Eastern region, you got to remember, for like 12 years, right? Or longer than that, whatever it was. Okay, so we had a Memorial Day weekend where Brento gave this to everybody on the team at our Wednesday or Thursday night team meeting. And our reps crushed it, Melanie, with Memorial Day sale. They were selling Memorial Day specials, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Day Monday. And a year later, I said, we should get these specials in our representatives' hands earlier, because they're not just making the sale because it's Memorial Day weekend. They're making the sale because they're talking about it the right way. They're making the sale because they're able to say, hey, right now through May 27th, we have this special. And so so basically what happened is when we started passing it out 2 weeks ahead of time, we started to get more sales. The same thing everybody goes with Father's Day. If we give people Father's Day sales the Father's Day weekend, that's great. I'd rather give people Father's Day sales June 1st. I'd rather use Memorial Day specials up until May 27th, and then on June 1st, give Father's Day sales. And then when Father's Day is done, give out July 4th sales. Okay. So I've got a bunch of these that I'm going to show you. And what I'm going to do is, let's see here. I'm going to forward Baker this email that you likely have. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to give it to you. All right. So John Baker, I'm going to send it to Evan as well. And then he can disseminate this to all of you. But I'm going to ask Baker, don't send it yet. Let's do it in 20 minutes or something. Okay. So everybody, before I share all the specials, okay, what I want to be able to do, what's up, Rogelio? Okay, but before we cover the specials, I just want to say this. Holiday selling opportunities are big opportunities in retail. They are big opportunity in sales. If any of you have ever walked into Target Friday morning on Memorial Day weekend, you will see red, white, and blue everywhere. And there are people that went into Target at 3 a.m. to set this up. There's a team of 20 people that go in at 3 a.m. to make Target, red, white, and blue for Memorial Day, or they July 4th it up, right? Going in at, okay. Look, we don't have to do anything special to like Memorial Day, our demo, but there are some things that we want to add into it. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Okay. So if you think about Memorial Day weekend, Melanie, like holiday selling is so great. There are stores that open up earlier, right? Their hours, they open up earlier on holiday weekends and they stay open later. So what does that mean for us? They are putting customers in a buying mood. My daughter said to me recently, we were talking about federal holidays, Melanie, and she's like, tell me about Memorial Day, right? Now, my dad, he served in the military for 32 years. Now, he didn't die in combat, right? But I was talking to her about the importance of Memorial Day. And it's funny because Memorial Day weekend, like for people who've lost loved ones, okay, in the military, Memorial Day weekend is it's a serious thing, right? For most people, Memorial Day weekend is like a party. It's barbecues on Memorial Day, right? It's kind of like July 4th. Okay, people are celebrating America. Okay, so here's the thing. People have 3-day weekends on Memorial Day weekend. If you said to me, okay, you get 1 day to sell Cutco, I'm taking Saturday. You get both spouses together. People got paid on Friday. They have all their money to spend. Okay. So if you're giving me 1 day a week to sell Cutco, I'm taking Saturday. If you're giving me 2 days a week, Brento, I'm taking Saturday and Sunday. Okay. And only because for people that go to church on Sunday, let's say, all right, you may not have the full day to do a bunch of appointments, but you've got most of it. If you're giving me a third day, I'm taking Friday because it's payday. Now, not everybody gets paid on Friday. Some people, they get paid on the 1st and the 15th. You all know what today is, the 15th. So if people are going into this weekend, 2 days from now, they're getting paid. But a bunch of other people getting paid today. So if you use the specials today, that I'm about to talk to you about, if you start using them today, home run. Okay. On a holiday weekend, Monday Memorial Day, it's like a Saturday. It's a federal holiday. Everyone's off. I remember my dad saying to me, I was all excited to do appointments on Memorial Day. And he's like, why would you do appointments on Memorial Day? People are busy. I go, Dad, remember, he was military 32 years. I go, Dad, what do you do on Memorial Day? He goes, nothing. Day off. Federal holiday. I'm like, exactly, Dad. People are home and they're in a good mood because they're not working on a Monday. Okay. Now let me call a timeout real quick. So most people are happy to be home on Monday because they hate their jobs. But you talk to people who love their jobs, right? It's funny because my wife knows, like on Memorial Day, like I'm running advanced training. I may not have as an intense Monday as normal, but I'm fired up on Monday because I get to see my team. And anyway, you talk to people who love their job, Melanie, they don't really feel like work. Okay. So here's the thing. People are in buying moods on Memorial Day weekend. They get an extra day off. Stores are advertising to their customers, sale, Memorial Day sale, Memorial Day sale. And the thing is on Memorial Day, look, like people that are going to have a barbecue, they take part of their day. It's a great advantage for us in the Cutco business because you can quote unquote open your Cutco store earlier. You can say, I'm going to do more appointments in the morning. I'm going to do more appointments in the evening. I'm going to do more appointments on Memorial Day weekend. When I sold Cutco, my average order on Memorial Day weekend doubled and I didn't know why. And I remember at the end of the weekend talking to my manager and I'm like, hey, why did I sell so much? And I said, I didn't work all that hard, but for the amount of appointments I did, I sold way more. And he goes, Dave, holiday weekend. Okay, think about it. Father's Day weekend, whatever dad wants, dad gets. Memorial Day weekend, July 4th, Labor Day, right? We naturally sell more. The average order naturally goes up. Okay, so let me share with you these specials. And I want to talk to you how to use them. And then John, Evan, they can disseminate these so that you have them. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Not seeing Lars on Champs Club this morning, though. So I need to make sure Evan knows. I look forward to seeing Lars on Champs Club. All right, ready? Here's how to use the specials. Okay. When you get to the end of the presentation, here's the phrase to write down. Instead of saying, let me tell you about the buy now bonus. Okay. Instead of saying, let me tell you about the buy now bonus, we're going to say, let me tell you about the Memorial Day specials. Hey, let me tell you about the Memorial Day specials. Normally, so the Homemaker +8, as you know, is $16.13. Normally, Brento, somebody who gets a Homemaker, they get one thing for free. So Melody, can you see what I'm sharing again? You can see the special. So normally when somebody gets a Homemaker, they get one thing for free. It's typically about $100. But right now we've got a Memorial Day special where if somebody buys the Homemaker +8 for free, they get the Entertainer Pack and the can opener. It's $340 of free Cutco. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question. Would you like to get the Homemaker +8 and get that $340 worth of free stuff, right? Smile and nod, drink water, wait for them to say what they're going to say. The reason you drink water is to let them think. Okay. The first person to speaks loses. So if they don't say anything, you don't say anything. And then they will either ask you a question, give you an objection, or go, Melanie, let's do it. Okay. And maybe it's another steak knife homemaker, Melanie, since you've already sold one of those. Okay. Now, let me just mention something about what you're seeing on your screen. Some people do not like this. And they're like, Dave, I don't want to show something that has 3 options because what if they only get the galley? Then they only get that's great. You didn't even have to drop down. And they go, oh, Tommy, I don't know if I want to get that whole house maker thing, but I'll get the gallery set because it looks like it's still a good deal and it's less money. Yeah. Great. You just sold a galley. Here's the benefit of showing this though, Melanie. Some people look at this and they go, hey, tell me more about that signature. And now you're talking to them about the signature and you sold a signature because of this. All right. So I want to give you 2 options right now. Option number 1, when you say, let me tell you about our Memorial Day specials, you show them this one. This is option 1. Now there's another one that I'm going to show you right here. This is option 2. All right, this is sweet. Here's option 2. I would not use both of these. You got to pick which one you want. So instead of saying, Melanie, let me tell you about our buy now bonus, you're going to say, so Melanie, let me tell you about our Memorial Day specials. Right now, all of our sets are discounted. All of them. Normally, the Homemaker Plus 8 is $16.13. Right now, it's on sale for $12.69. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question. Would you like to get the Homemaker, right, and save $344? Now, again, let me call a timeout. Some people will look at this and they're like, oh, Dave, I don't want to show that because it's got all the sets. It does. And someone might point at the essentials and say, let me get that. Great. You just sold an essentials. You didn't have to drop down and they're fired up. And when they're fired up, you get more recommendations. But also by showing this, you will have some people go, hey, tell me about that complete set. I want to save $476. And now you just sold an ultimate. Now, the way we're selling it, obviously, is we'd be selling them a basic Homemaker in the Homemaker Plus 8 block, and you're throwing in all 8 table knives. Everybody with me on that? Okay. Now, again, some people, they look at this and they're like, oh, I don't want to sell a basic Homemaker with 8 free table knives, right? I don't want to give up all that. Look, go to any car dealership right now. Go to any car dealership and try to pay full price. You can't. Why? Memorial Day weekend. 6 weeks from now, go to any car dealership and try to pay full price. You can't. July 4th. These stores take advantage of this. They know it. It doesn't matter if it's Macy's, if it's Big 5 Sports, it doesn't matter if it's Dick's Sporting Goods, Lowe's, they're all having Memorial Day specials. So by showing this, they're already psychologically in a buying mood because they've been seeing and hearing about Memorial Day specials on their satellite radio ads, on billboards, right? So if you just get to the end, instead of saying, Brento, let me tell you about the buy now bonus, you just go, let me tell you about the Memorial Day specials. And then Melanie, you pick which one you want to use. Do you want to use this one right here? Or do you want to use Signature, Homemaker, and what was the other one? Was it a galley? Yeah, the galley, the Homemaker, right? That was the other one I showed you. And again, if you're like, Dave, I need the specials, John's got them, Evan's got them. They'll disseminate this once I finish. I just want to make sure you're locked in. Okay, so thumbs up, Melanie, if that makes sense. Are we good? Okay, this is how to use these specials. Now, I've got a few other ones I want to show to you. Okay, the other ones that I'm going to show to you are right before you show the accessories at the end of the presentation. And I want to mention something about accessories. Always show the accessories. Always, always, always show the accessories. If you have a customer who buys a trimmer, should you show them the accessories? Yeah. If you have a customer who buys absolutely nothing, should you show them the accessories? Yeah. I had a customer, Lene Saunders. She bought nothing. It was confusing. I was perplexed. I was flummoxed. Because she had kid, like married. I'm like, why is this not clicking with her? Okay. And then I get to the accessories, entertainer pack, kitchen tools, barbecue set, garden tools, 940 CPO. And I just remember thinking, it's pretty good. I'm glad that I showed her the accessories, Melanie, because that was a kaboom, right? Okay. So always show the accessories. If you have somebody who bought 2 ultimate sets from you, and they spent $6,000 and you're like, man, if I had $6,000 in my checkbook, my life would be totally different. Now, that might be a lot of money to, you know, a rep, let's say, or a human being, but to the person who's spending $6,000, it's not. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent $6,000. Okay, so let's make sure that we're actually showing the accessories. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 or 3 things. I think it's 3 sheets that look just like, Melanie, what I showed you. I'm going to show you 3 things. When you get to the accessories, the first thing you should do is say, hey, real quick, let me show you the other Memorial Day specials. So when you get to the accessories part of the presentation, you're just going to go, hey, really quick, let me show you the other accessories. I'm sorry, not the other accessories. Let me show you the other Memorial Day sales. That's it. Let me show you the other Memorial Day specials. Let me show you the other Memorial Day sales. Okay, and what I'm about to do is I'm going to show them to you. And there's 3 of them. Okay, there's 3 of them. So the first 2 sales I showed you, Melanie, pick the one you like better. Your manager could give you some direction, okay? But like, I'm not here to tell you, oh, I think this one's better than the other. Look, they both have a set above the Homemaker. They both have sets right below them, and that's kind of what you want, because you're going to save time from dropping down, but you also sell the larger sets. Okay, here we go. So Rogelio, before we show the accessories, I say, hey, let me tell you about the other Memorial Day specials. Here's the first one. Anybody who buys 8 steak knives, and you can get them 4 in a gift box. Anybody who buys 8 steak knives, they get a carving set for free. And remember, when you show the accessories, if somebody looks at you blankly, next, right? Advance the presentation. Go to the next thing. If somebody looks at you blankly, I keep going. But if they go, ooh, now what I'm going to do is I want to make sure they know the price, right? So the price of 8 steak knives is $738. And then for free, I can throw in the $219 carving set for free. If you break that into 5 payments, it's only this per month. Hey, do you want me to throw that on your order? What a great way to ask if they want to get it. Hey, do you want me to toss that on your order? I just try to make it really low key, Melanie. Do you want me to throw that on your order? Do you want me to toss that on your order? Okay, great. All right, so that's special number 1. Okay, that's special number 1. After that, I go to the next special for the accessories. It's this one. All right, so the next Memorial Day special for the accessories we have is anybody who buys a gift set, and I'm going to show you the gift sets. Here are some examples of gift sets. Anybody who buys a gift set, they get a free pizza cutter or the ice cream scoop, okay, or the can opener. And I look at them, and Rogelio, if they look at me blankly, all right, next. If they're like, oh, that's pretty sweet, cool. Do you want to get one of those gift sets? And I'll throw on which gadget. By the way, which gadget would you pick? Oh, I got to have the pizza cutter. Cool. You want me to toss that on your order, right? Okay. Last one. Last one. You knew I was going there. Barbecue set. Anybody who buys a barbecue set, they get a free scoop. And if they're like, oh, that's sweet. Oh, that might be a great Father's Day gift. Cool. Now, since you're already breaking the order into 5 payments, if you wanted to add the barbecue set on, okay, it's basically going to be about $50 a month. Do you want me to throw the barbecue set on your order where it stands right now? Ask for the order, drink water, be quiet, let them think. I see too many representatives, Melanie, say, do you want me to throw that on your order? And then the customer doesn't say anything. And they're just like, no, okay. And you just made the customer say no because you said no. So like, drink water, let them think. Honey, do we need a new barbecue set? We could use a new barbecue set. Okay, yeah, we should do it, Melanie. Okay. Baker, if you want to distribute to your team what I sent to you, all of you will now have these specials. And I would recommend, and so Melanie, now I'm going to go into some inside baseball for you. Okay. We're just going to assume that, you're going to be a manager. So one of the things that I'm doing today with my team is I am reaching out to everyone on the team to make sure they have the Zoom link for tonight's, what we're doing tonight, the region conference. But once they say that, I'm reviewing with them how to use the Memorial Day specials, because I need to make sure people are using them right now. Do not start using them next weekend. Use them now. If you use them now, you will benefit from them now. That's the whole name of the game. So today I'm reaching out to everybody on the team. I want to make sure that they have that. Okay. Now, I still have a couple things I want to mention. If so, Melanie, I guess I'm curious. Do you? So now I want to fast forward, not this weekend, but next weekend. Do you have any Memorial Day plans, or do you think you'll end up at a barbecue or anything like that? Okay. So for people who are going to go to a barbecue, or if you find out you get invited to one last minute, you're like, okay, cool. I always tell people, don't go to a barbecue to try to sell Cutco. Do not go to a barbecue to try to sell Cutco. But what you can do is bring your Cutco there and bring your calendar there. And if you see somebody who's cutting slices of pickles for burgers, you can go, hey, Roger, use this table knife. And then you see Tommy and he's got a steak going. You can go, hey, when you carve this, when you cut this up, I want you to use the petite carver. When you see somebody cutting slices of tomato, hey, use the trimmer. And so what you can do is put Cutco into people's hands at the barbecue. Everybody will love it. And then people are like, oh my God, this is great. You can go, hey, I just got a job with Cutco, and you can use your calendar and schedule appointments. So one of my students, Chris Lyons, he did this. He booked 14 appointments at his Memorial Day barbecue. He didn't go there to sell. He was just putting Cutco, right? Somebody's going to cut their hot dog into a small piece for their, 2-year-old. He's like, wait, use this knife. Oh my God, that goes through like butter. I'll talk to you later. And then he went back and had his calendar, booked 14 appointments, and he ended up selling a little over $3,200 from those 14 appointments. Roger, here's the kicker. You know what the average order was when Chris Lyons did that? 200. The average order now is 300, right? So take that $3,200 from those 14 appointments and increase it by 50%. And now we're talking more like 4,800. Not a bad gig. Not everybody bought, by the way, but he did pretty well. Okay. The other thing I want to mention is when you're booking appointments on a holiday weekend, look, you got to handle the objection. I know you're busy, right? The most common objection you'll get on a Mother's Day, oh, we're busy, it's Mother's Day. The most common objection you'll get, Melanie, on Memorial Day weekend, oh, we're busy, it's Memorial Day. People are typically not all that busy. So you want to handle the objection before it comes up, right? So I'm going to drop something in the chat. This is a phrase that I like to say. There you go. I put it in the chat. This is a phrase I like to say on the phone before I offer 2 times. Okay. Now, I wouldn't use it now. I would use it when booking appointments for Memorial Day weekend. So if I'm calling next Wednesday or Thursday night, Roger, to book Memorial Day weekend appointments, before I ask them, I don't care what phone approach they're using. It could be the acquaintance approach. It could be Tommy, the initial phone approach. It could be calling recos. But before we offer the 2 times, I want to say, hey, I know you're really busy because it's Memorial Day weekend, but I'm trying to get in a full weekend's pay. By the way, do you notice that I haven't paused yet? And I teach it to our people this way. I don't want you to pause and go, Tommy, I know you're really busy because it's Memorial Day weekend. And they go, oh yeah, I'm so busy. So I don't pause there, right? I don't give them the chance. I know you're really busy because it's Memorial Day weekend, but I'm trying to get at a full weekend's pay. And in order to do that, I need some more appointments for Saturday. So I wanted to see if I could quick stop by on Saturday at 3 o'clock, or is 4:30 better? It would really help me out. So I was a psych major in college, and I learned people remember the first thing you say and the last thing you say, right? The proximity and the recency. They remember the first and the last thing, and they forget everything in the middle. So if you end by saying Melanie, it would really help me out. They're like, all right, Brento, if it helps you out, I'll do it. Okay. Now that phrase that I just gave you is not just for Memorial Day weekend. We use this all the time. If I am calling someone tonight to book them for Friday or Saturday, hey, I know you're really busy because it's the weekend, but I'm trying to schedule, or I'm trying to get in a full weekend's pay. And in order to do that, I need some more appointments for Friday. So I wanted to know if I could quickly call you and have you be in front of a computer Friday at 3 o'clock, or is 4:30 better? It would really help me out. Let's say I'm calling somebody for tomorrow. What's the reason I can give them that they're busy for tomorrow? Hey, I know you're really busy because tomorrow's Thursday, but I'm trying to get in a full day's pay. Notice I don't say weekends. I say I'm trying to get in a full day's pay. And in order to do that, I need some more appointments for tomorrow. So I wanted to see if I could quick stop by at 9 a.m. or is 10:30 better? It would really help me out. This phrase, I refer to it as the phrase that pays. When you are phoning, if you say this, they are less likely to tell you they're busy. What is the most common objection you will ever get when you're making calls? Oh, but I'm so busy. Let's handle the objection before it comes up. All right, let's pause. Melanie, or anybody else, any questions on any of that or in general before we make some calls? Great. Melanie, props to you for being a champion, because I was not on Champs Club this week on Monday, but I was here yesterday and I was here today, and so are you. And I will be on Friday morning, just so you know. So I will be back one more time this week. I don't know who's running the Thursday. It doesn't matter. Somebody is, and you should just always do Champs Club. And I will say this. I think Champs Club is great, not just, and I know you're not in Fast Art anyway, but it's great not just for people in Fast Art, but it's great after that, because you will learn things and it just helps you, right? So anyway, I just wanted to make sure you have that. Okay. Now, Melanie, I want to do an exercise with you. Which phone approach are you using right now? I'm just curious. There's no right or wrong to this. You could unmute, by the way. That's totally cool too.
I'm just using the basic for my training.
Great. Perfect. Okay. So whenever I make phone calls, one of the things I like to do is warm up my voice. And the reason why I like to warm up my voice is because when I used to make calls, and again, I started at 19, right? And age doesn't matter, because when Mike Payne started, and I won't give away his age, he's a grandfather, but when Mike Payne started, he was almost a grandfather. I'll just say that. Okay. And so like, when I would make phone calls, I would try to have I wanted my voice to go up so that I didn't sound as threatening on the phone, right? Like if the dad picked up, I didn't want to go, "Hey Jim, is Nancy there?" So I'd be like, "Hey Jim, it's Dave Powders. I was over to see Melanie. Did she tell you?" I kid you not, Melanie. So before making calls, I think it's good to warm up your voice, right? So one of the things that I want to be able to do is, you and I are going to role play the phone approach. I just want to hear you. And if there's any critique that I can give you, I want to be able to do that. And I might not, by the way, and that's also good. But I want to remind you, whenever you're on the phone, you want to have three things in front of you, right? Have your phone approach, which is right in front of you. Have your schedule. And then I would recommend also having the page in that manual for answering questions. Okay. I'm grabbing my manual right now too. Let's see here. It is
page 35. The possible customer questions.
There's yeah. And by the way, something that there's also a page at the bottom of page 40 and 41. You'll see even more. I used to doggy ear that, because every now and again I'd call a customer and I'd hear something like, "I've seen the presentation 100 times," and I didn't know, Melanie, what to say. I didn't know how to handle it. And sure enough, there's an answer in the training manual. So anyway, whenever you're on the phone, you want to have three things in front of you: your phone approach, your schedule, and then I recommend having that. Now, someone, I think it was Julianne, referenced a fourth thing, and she was right, and that would be vector impact. All right. So yes, you want to have vector impact in front of you. Nice job, Julianne. Okay. So let's do this. And before you make calls, I think it's important that you have your attack list ready. Before you make calls, it's important that you know exactly what times you want to offer. It's never good when we go, "So I wanted to know if I could come over tomorrow at," right? Like, we should know, right? Okay. So let's do this. I'll be Uncle Dave. You can call me. And if there's any critique that I can give you, great. And if not, I just want to warm you up before you get a chance to make calls, because Champs Club's not just about the learning part. It's you spend roughly 30 minutes of learning, and then you make calls and you get appointments. That way you can implement what you learned. All right. So you should also know, Melanie, there's going to be zero judgment on here. We're just doing this to help you. Like, every time I do this, the whole purpose is nothing would make me happier than in July, when we're doing this, to have top people for the summer doing the teaching, right? Like, imagine if at this point you're at 15, 20,000 in sales, and you're like, "Here are some things I do during names and uses to really tie my customer in." And people are like, "Oh, that's a cool topic. Never thought of that," right? Okay. So Melanie, you should unmute. I'll be Uncle Dave. Let's do this.
That works perfect, because I do have an Uncle Dave. He's the one who bought my steak set.
Nice.
All righty. Hi, Uncle Dave. This is Melanie. How are you today?
Okay. By the way, You sound awesome. Okay, I don't like to break momentum as we're doing this, but I mean, this is 10 out of 10 right off the bat. Okay, so Melanie, great, like, love this. I'm doing great. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. How's work going?
It's going really well.
I'm happy to hear that. So I just started this really great new job showing Cutco, and as a part of that, I'd like to stay on track by making an appointment with you later this week. I do have availability on what is today? On Friday. Sorry, that was me. On Friday, we can do early morning as soon as I get out of my group meeting at 9:30, or we can also do later on in the afternoon, about 5 o'clock. What would
Okay.
work for you best?
Okay, good. All right. So you offered me 2 times. Now I do want to go back. I want you to
Yes.
look at your phone approach. There are
Yes.
some key points at the top of that phone approach that you want to
Yes.
make sure you say. And I see this pretty often. There are people when they're new, they read the phone approach. And then what happens is they start doing a bunch of appointments, they start making sales, and they stop reading the approach. Now, look, I don't think you need to memorize the phone approach, but you should stick to it because there's an important phrase that says something like, Melanie, I get paid to show it. You don't have to buy. I want to
Yes.
make sure you, because I didn't hear that. And I want to
No,
make
I
sure
can
you
hear
say
that.
it because the pressure's off. Okay. So let's do
You
this.
got
Let's take it from the top. You sound great. Let's do it again.
it. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, Uncle Dave. This is Melanie. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. How's work going?
It's going really well. Thanks for asking.
Not a problem at all. Well, cool. The reason that I'm calling is because I just started this great new job showing Cutco. And as a part of my training, I'd like to stay on track with making more appointments. The best part is that you don't have to get anything because I get paid just to show it to you. So if you have a time available on Friday, I have 9:30 after my morning meeting or 5 o'clock Friday afternoon, which would work best for you.
Nicely done. Very good. Okay. So you are, both times we did this, you were offering me Friday. Um, do you want any, and I'm just curious, do you want any appointments for Wednesday or Thursday, or do you want your next scheduled appointments to be Friday?
I would love appointment. I have one appointment for tomorrow. I was just picking Friday off
Okay,
the
that's
top.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was just gonna say, like, offer what you want because I see a lot of people do this. They'll offer randomly and they'll fill those appointments, but then it's like, oh, I've got one appointment today, or I'm sorry, I've got one appointment tomorrow, and I've got two Friday. How did that happen? Well, it happened because they were just offering Friday instead of offering, right? Whatever you offer, you'll tend to get.
Absolutely.
Now that phrase, when you get to the part, Melanie, of um uh so I want to do, or could we do the appointment at this time or is that time? Remember, you could also add in the, now I know you're really busy because tomorrow's Thursday, but I'm trying to get in a full day's pay. And in order to do that, I need some more appointments for tomorrow. So I wanted to see. So anyway, that's where that phrase would go.
Perfect.
In
Okay.
the training manual, there's multiple phone approaches. I love that phrase that pays in all of them. Okay. But let's say that I
Okay.
picked, let's just say, just so I can hear you firm it up. Let's just say
Yep.
I say, yeah, Friday at 5 is great.
Awesome. Okay. Well, do you have a pen and paper available?
I'm ready.
Wonderful. Let's go ahead and write down Friday at 5 for the appointment with me. We'll be doing about a 45-minute appointment. And again, thank you so much for helping me. I really, really appreciate you helping me with this. It may not mean a lot to you, but it definitely means a lot to me. Ooh, I look forward to seeing you Friday at 5.
Good. I love that phrase, by the way. I love that phrase. It may not mean a lot to you. It means a ton to me. Just make sure, like, it, when you're on the phone, they can't see you. They have no idea if you're following a script. So I'm the
Yeah.
type of person who, when I was 19 anyway, I did not want to follow the script. I wanted to reinvent the wheel. And I found that when I stuck to the approach, I got demos. When I stuck to the manual, I made sales. When I deviated and tried to do my own thing, I didn't do as well. So
Okay.
even asking that question, hey, by the way, is your wife going to be there, Dave? Always ask that question because, again, we tend to make more sales when we get both spouses together. And it just occurred to me, I'm a terrible example because, you're booking an appointment with the dad, and I have a rule, like I want to see both spouses together. I never want to see just the dad. And it's not for the reason you may think. It's that the moms are the bosses. The moms know the calendar. The moms know what's going on. So Melanie, a
Yeah.
couple weekends ago when my mom, that's good. So yeah, my parents visited, but that has nothing to do with this. My wife went to SLO and she left me directions on all the things I needed to do that weekend. And I executed them perfectly
Yeah.
because my wife knew what was going on. That's all. She was like, you got to take Violet here, over here. You got to take Maeve over here. Anyway. All right. So Melanie, you're ready to go. You're ready to attack this. So
Thank
just a
you.
reminder, Champs Club, you learn and then you make calls. And look, if you made 10 calls and nobody pick up and you texted those 10 people, right? Hey, so-and-so, it's Melanie. I had a quick question. Let me know when you're free. Those appointments will come back to you.
Okay.
So you were ready to roll. I
Thank
don't
you.
know, John or Tommy, if there's a musical thing that you want to,